Even by today's standards, these still hold up. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're continuing our series of the best video game boss battles with our picks for the top 10 video game boss battles of the 1990s. For this list, we'll be looking at the most enjoyable, influential, and well-designed boss battles per decade. And today, we're tackling the glory days of the 90s.
But it cannot be.
Only one boss per franchise will be allowed for each list. And we're ranking the battles on how well designed the battles themselves are and how memorable they have been over time. Number 10, ATST, Star Wars, Shadows of the Empire. The glory days of the Empire Strikes Back and the iconic battle that took place on Hoth between the Rebellion and a hell of a lot of AT-ATs and ATSTs. You couldn't ask for a better setting as a boss fight. And as Dash Rendar, you certainly lay siege to your fair share of mechanical monstrosities. That is, of course, until you find yourself fleeing Echo Base, where you have to battle a lone ATST while you are on foot. All of a sudden, that bipedal death machine got a whole lot more scary, and a great way to throw you into the action and adrenaline of a galactic shuffle. You'll also fight another walker later in the game, but that first encounter definitely had the most visual heft. Number 9, The Master, Fallout.
Your talents will be
useful.
But first, you must tell me everything about your vault.
A post-apocalyptic wasteland is a hard place to live, and some would say that adapting is the only way to survival.
I believe I shall. Don't move.
The man known as Richard Moreau took that to a new extreme when he was exposed to the forced evolutionary virus and became a horrific but sentient blob of flesh with plans to turn all of humanity into super mutants.
I will conquer it and turn all those pure strain humans into mutants.
The battle against him is more of a contest of wit than gunplay, though his devout followers more than make up for that aspect. Depending on your choices and allegiance, you can choose to join him in his plot or even convince him that his grand scheme is flawed. Either way, it certainly ends with a bang.
You think you can destroy me? Destroy?
Me?
Number 8, Star Wolf, Star Fox 64.
Can't let you do that, Star Fox. Andros has ordered us to take you down.
Think you're the greatest pilot in the cosmos? Well, now is your chance to prove it.
Time for a little payback.
Before confronting the galactic menace known as Andros, Fox McCloud and company find themselves set upon by their bitter rivals, Star Wolf.
We'll just see about that, Star Wolf.
It's the mother of all intergalactic dogfights, as players have to take on hostiles that are armed with the same weapons and tricks as our heroes. Needless to say, you'll have to be quick on the draw and do a whole lot of barrel rolling if you want to show this mercenary company why foxes beat wolves.
I can't move.
Number 7, Mother Brain, Super Metroid. Samus has come across her fair share of nightmarish creatures, but not a lot of those come close to this alien matriarch. After defeating numerous space pirates, shooting an oversized brain in a jar should be a cakewalk, except that it turns out that Mother Brain is so much more than just a single organ. Easily overpowered, it seems like this was a no-win battle, until players were saved by the Metroid larvae from the beginning of their playthrough. Not only does it sacrifice itself for Samus, but it grants her use of the game's strongest weapon, the Hyper Beam. Unloading an infinite supply barrage of superpowered rapid-fire blasts into a vile monstrosity has never felt so good. Number 6, Koopa Clown Car, Super Mario World. What vehicle would be worthy of the almighty Bowser other than a flying contraption that comes complete with an endless supply of crap to throw at Mario? In order to save Princess Peach, Mario battles the airborne Koopa King while having to avoid his mechanical minions, fireballs, and the clown car itself. Giant Baby Bowser is also worthy of a mention for the element of tension that it added, but we just can't say no to a flying death machine with a smile on its face. Number 5. Giygas, Earthbound. Nowhere is this JRPG's underlying dark side better displayed than in this horrifically formless alien creature. Known as the embodiment of evil and capable of ripping the universe apart, it encounters Ness and his companions in a dark dimension of its own making, where the players are subjected to distorting and disturbing images of Giygas' ever-shifting appearance. As if that's not creepy enough, there's actually no way to win this fight due to Giygas' overwhelming power. All you can do is keep praying over and over again just to stay alive, until it finally dissipates. We're pretty sure that more than a few people still have nightmares about this boss, and I guess we don't blame them. Number 4. Magma Dragoon, Mega Man X4. Capcom is the king of crossovers, but it's not always in your face. Case in point, Street Fighter fans should notice that Magma Dragoon has essentially the same moveset as Ryu, Ken, and Akuma. Anyway, with the bar already set quite high by having the entire stage set inside an active volcano, Magma Dragoon will certainly keep players on their toes due to the limited number of ground and abundance of lava around them, all while sending both high and low waves of fire their way. While he may be just another Maverick, the lightning-fast pace of his attacks and the homage to the beloved tournament franchise make him a standout challenge for Mega Man fans. Number 3. Hitler, Wolfenstein 3D. How could we not include a boss that features a showdown with the poster boy of the Third Reich? Shooting your way through the Führer bunker and a multitude of Nazi officers and crazy occultists, players eventually come face to face with Adolf Hitler himself, who happens to have gotten himself a giant, heavily armed mecha suit. After managing to blast that to pieces, the Führer shows that he's still kinda handy with a pair of chain guns. The ludicrous nature of the fight and the joy of riddling the Nazi leader to bloody pieces is too gruesome to not put on this list. Historical accuracy be damned.
Eva, auf Wiedersehen.
Number 2. Ganon, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. In what many consider to be one of the greatest video games ever created, no one can deny that the final battle against the villainous Ganondorf more than lived up to the epic standards that had been set beforehand. After activating the Triforce of Power, the King of Evil is transformed into a monstrous beast wielding 2 gigantic swords and one hell of a murderous itch. Initially lacking a Master Sword, players had to rely on their alternative weapons, such as the Hammer or Bigoron Sword, in order to keep him at bay before reclaiming the legendary blade and finally slaying the Dark Beast. Cinematic, emotional, and ever so satisfying, this clash against Ganon will not leave gamers' minds anytime soon. Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
You will die, mortal. You are worthy.
Number 1. Psycho Mantis, Metal Gear Solid.
It's useless. I told you, I can read your every thought.
Never has breaking the fourth wall left such a profound effect on video games as a whole.
What do you think now? Can you feel my power?
The first member of the Foxhound unit that Snake encounters on his mission, this telepath made it very clear he was unlike any other boss that the 90s had ever seen. He wasn't just able to possess other characters, he was able to possess your PlayStation.
I see that you enjoy Konami games.
able to predict your movements unless you switched your controller port, even making you think your television had crashed. Psycho Mantis truly took us on a mind trip the likes of which many have tried to replicate, but none can really hold a candle to.
Now I will move your controller by the power of my will alone.
Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite 1990s video game boss battle? With new top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
So what shall it be? Do you join the Unity, or do you die here?
Join.
Die!
Join.
Die!